Hello everybody, my name is Richard Stern and today I'm going to be giving you guys my persuasive speech on the question of, is creating films and documentaries about criminals glorifying their actions, leading normal people in society to become criminals themselves? So imagine scrolling through platforms such as Netflix, YouTube, or even TikTok, Facebook, and other social media platforms and seeing the face of a notorious criminal with dramatic music and cinematic, lighting and things of that nature. A modern true crime media often presents criminals with stylistic storytelling, which can entice people to want to understand more about them and why they are the way that they are. This raising an unsettling question: are we informing the public or unintentionally inviting the negative connotation of criminals to be put out into the public? Today we examine the sociology and psychology and tensions behind this issue, how films and documentaries construct narratives around criminals, how such portrayals can portray societal attitudes and individual perceptions, how entertainment-driven storytelling many obscure ethical boundaries. While the subject is controversial, understanding these portrayals is crucial because it can, of course, change the public's outlook and also help us understand how understanding can be beneficial and can also be harmful to society. Audiences play a role in reinforcing glamorized depictions of crime. Filmmakers and platforms must recognize the impact of their creative choices. This issue tends for beyond entertainment value in itself. It informs media ethics regarding portrayals such as serial killers, even pickpocket criminals, or any type of criminal. When you glorify someone for their negative actions, although things may be based off of a true story or even if they're fictional, when people pick up on characters and see and mimic actions, either positively or negatively, it can affect how they carry themselves in their day-to-day life and impact the people around them, such as their society, community, etc. It forces society to reconsider the boundary between education and glorification. The creation of films and documentaries about criminals can inadvertently glorify their action. Dramatization styles may elevate a criminal's cultural status, such as, for example, Jeffrey Dahmer. He was one of the most notorious serial killers to ever grace, to ever be on any type of social media platform. And although he's no longer here with us today, his story is still one of the most talked about in the criminal world of all time. He was one of the biggest serial killers in the United States. He killed many people, and the way that he would kill was so inhumane. And some people, when they would see his actions, it would strike their brain, to want to figure out why he was the way that he was in an educational way. But for some people who may be battling with mental problems or may be having, some similar thoughts themselves, when they see those actions and how they're glorified on television and portrayed to be a different way than how the sequence of events actually happened, it can make them want to act upon their inner thoughts and their actions because they see, it got his name put out there, all the interviews, the public with, eyes on him, and everyone has many questions. Even Jeffrey Dahmer himself stated in an interview, he had so many more fans than he did have haters. Even though he was a serial killer, he was a cannibalist, he was so many things, and some people would still take his actions and glorify them and paint him out to be some innocent hero. And this can also be due to, you can say, societal norms based on appearance. I've done my own research and I've noticed and seen through comments, through articles, and many other sources that the more attractive a person is, the less harsh that their actions appear to be. Such as Ted Bundy, he would always lure his victims by his looks. He was very charming. A lot of people could contest to this. Even some of his victims who survived him would say that he was so handsome, and that's how he would get his victims because of the way that he looked. He would sweet talk them, he would charm them, and that's similar to the style of the way that Jeffrey Dahmer would get his victims. So it can be due to a multitude of different things, but overall, I do think that these factors and things that we talked about can inspire impressionable individuals to emulate criminal behavior. Maybe not even going as far as murder, but like I said, even pickpocketing, fraud, scamming is a big thing now that people see on TV that they do take into their real lives. So it can be a multitude and, facet of different ways that people can commit crimes. But overall, I believe that the way that things are portrayed on television, whether they're based off a true story or whether they're fictional, can entice people to act upon how they feel based off of what they see on television. And that was my persuasive speech on the question of, does media, in fact, make people want to act on criminalistic behavior? And again, my name is Richard Serna. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a good day.